Hello everyone. Can you hear me well? Please let me know in the chat. Today we're gonna go through this container model that I have here that I found from Sketchup Warehouse, and I just want to go through everything except the modeling because that is very time consuming and not very worth it in terms of doing it in live stream. We're gonna go through lighting, materials, composition, visual settings, and the final render. And right now this is how it's looking. It's all basic. I haven't done any kind of tweaking in terms of materials, lighting, or anything like that, or even the visual settings are all default. Now, please let me know in the chat if you can hear me well, and if you're also just let me know where you guys are from. I always want to know that. You probably noticed if you have been in one of my previous live streams, this is one of the most common questions. So we're just starting right now. If you just joined, just know that we haven't done anything in the Enscape window. Let me know in the chat where you guys are from, what's your name, and just introduce yourself. And also, yeah, let me know. Yeah, I think you can hear me well. Badr is from Pakistan. Nice. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get started right now. This is the existing model. First thing I'm gonna do is I want to make sure that I have set up the composition. So I'm gonna go to visual settings. Let's turn the rendering quality all the way up to ultra since we're here anyway. And then the field of view, I'm gonna turn it down to like 50. And probably the composition is gonna be somewhere along these lines, and it's also gonna have to be a 2-point perspective. We have Joao from Brazil. Nice to have you here. So it's gonna be probably something like this, okay? Now, I don't think I'm gonna waste too much more time in kind of getting the angle. I just want to go with this. So I'm gonna create a view and I'm gonna type in camera 1, and obviously the preset is gonna be named 1, and that is gonna be linked with this view, right? Yeah, I think it's already linked. All right. Now, first off, with this render, I don't want to do everything as usual, so I'm not gonna go for a sunny mood. I'm not gonna go with something very basic. I want to try something a bit more cloudy, okay? If that doesn't work out, then I guess I'll just go for something that I know works 100% for sure. And you guys probably know that I like to use the midday HDRI a lot of times. But let me just, so what I'm gonna do, something else is I'm gonna turn the sun brightness off down to 0%. And all of these different settings, let's turn the shadow sharpness. And what I'm gonna do straight away is I'm gonna go to sky, I'm gonna go to skybox, I'm gonna load skybox from file, and I'm going to find the HDRI that I want to use for this, which is a cloudy HDRI. So it's a whole different mood from what we've done until now in the live streams. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do this cloudy HDRI. Okay, so now it's imported. As you can see, this doesn't have any sun coming from anywhere. I think this is gonna look very cool. I'm gonna have to play around with the brightness, but I'm gonna leave it at default as of now. What about the sun brightness? No, I don't think I want to have any sun brightness here. Maybe 2%, just something little like this. And what we're gonna need to do, let's do auto contrast for now. The saturation is fine. I just want to have it like a very gloomy mood, I guess. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and we're going to turn this to grass straight away. So let's go to materials. I'm going to rename this to grass. As you can see, it immediately turned into grass. I'm not sure why a lot of other parts turn to grass as well. Well, maybe I can just apply a whole different material. I guess that's how the model was kind of that was how the model was made up in the Sketch Warehouse. So I'm gonna place this here and I'm gonna make it a lot darker, something like this. Less saturation, I guess, maybe a little bit more. Let's see. And yeah, I want to make it very tall. I want it to be as kind of irregular as possible, so a lot of height variation and a lot of height on the grass as well, except maybe we don't want to go over these stairs here, but we'll take care of that a little bit later on. All right, what else do we need to do here? So what I want to do is I'm going to take off these SketchUp trees and we're going to add some trees from the Enscape asset library. I'm going to click save here. And by the way, if you guys have any questions during the process, feel free to let me know in the chat. Okay, so let's go to the asset library. I'm going to go to multi-asset placement. Let's go to vegetation. Let's go to trees. Yeah, I'm going to find something which goes well in forests. These ones do work well. Let me just get a bunch of these, as much variations as possible. Okay, let's make it a bit more dense, I guess. Hello, I'm Andreas from Indonesia. Nice to have you here, Andreas. Let's try this. Let me do confirm placement. Apply changes. Let's see how this looks. I like the way that this tree kind of looks around here. Something else that we're gonna do, I'm gonna select these. Let's make them larger. That looks nice. And then let's select these over here as well. Let's copy it. Yeah, I wanna make them a lot denser, I guess. So a lot more higher density of trees. Some over there as well. Let's copy this. Let's go over here as well. Maybe this one doesn't look that right. So first off, I don't want to have too much attention on this tree trunk, so I'm going to add the depth of field. Let's turn off autofocus and let's make it over here. And then, yeah, I think there needs to be a lot of different stuff going on with the landscape here. We're going to need some lights from the interior as well, and then we're going to need to take care of the materials on the containers. And then after that, we're going to go for the visual settings. Let's go to the asset library once again. Let's go to multi-asset placement. Let's go to vegetation. Let's try bushes, I guess. Yeah, let's go for some bushes. I'm going to try some leaves as well. Let's try this. I'm just going to add a lot of different variations. Maybe not all of them work. However, I just want to kind of have a lot of irregularities. I want it as kind of rough and as natural as possible. I want to add even more density. Maybe not as much. Hi, Albert from Atlanta. Cheers from Germany, dear colleague. Hi, Lautaro. Nice to have you here. So, in case you guys don't know, Lautaro is part of the Enscape team. We have Albert from Atlanta. Nice to have you here as well. Let's see how this looks. I don't think it looks that bad. I think these two big ones here at the front, they're obviously not at the right angle, but at the same time, I don't think they go well with the vegetation. Maybe let's add even more density here. So I'm going to copy them. Let's add some over here. Let's rotate them a bit. So maybe something along. Let's see. Let me try something along these lines. Awesome. Okay. Not that good. All right, I'm gonna leave it a bit like this for now. I know it looks all over the place, especially with these the bigger bushes. I guess these ones. Let me take some of these off, the ones that are very like in front of us. Let's take this off and let's take this off. I really want to make the grass a bit larger, but maybe I'll have to move the stairs a bit upwards. That way they don't get kind of interrupted by the grass. So let's make the height a lot bigger. Yeah, and then the height variation, you're gonna need to play around with that. Let me try and move this. Let me select the stairs or the house a bit. Let's move this a bit upwards. That's maybe too much, so that's too much as well. I guess something like this can work. All right, I think I'm gonna leave these surroundings as they are right now. I think we need to play around a lot with the interior materials. I mean the materials on the container. I think we need to add some interior lights as well, but we'll see how this goes. So first things off, probably the most important material here is the metal and the wood, like in terms of they're going to be the ones that we'll be noticing the most. So let's make it metallic, add some reflection to it. Also the blue part, let's make it metallic. Hello, watching from the Philippines. I'm late. No, you're just in time. I mean, we haven't done much as of now, only some of the surroundings and the landscape, the composition, and lighting. So we're pretty much halfway through, I guess. But no, there's still a lot of work that we have to do. Let's select the metal over here as well. Metallic 100%, roughness 30%. That's fine, I guess. Now, first thing I think is that the interior is just way too dark for now. So I'm gonna try out. Let me first try out to make the wood darker. Maybe not as dark, but something like this. And let's try to make the wood more reflective. So let's do 60% roughness. Let's add the bump map, I guess, something like this. And we'll check everything. So let's go to the Enscape objects. Let's go vertically. I'm gonna increase the radius and I'm gonna increase the luminous intensity. Maybe something like this. Let's try and apply this color. Okay. Something else that I can try out. Let me just copy it along over here. Maybe if we have some light in the interior, that can help us kind of not be able to tell the interior a bit more and have it more see-through. However, we definitely need more trees in the background. Maybe I take care of that a bit later on, but let's see. Let me try and copy some. Let's move this a bit downwards. By the way, I'm just a bit trying to kind of really understand the composition. I know this is gonna be, I knew this was gonna be a bit more trickier because we're going for a mood which is not very common. I guess if we turn on the sun brightness just a tiny bit more is gonna be better. But we're gonna need to play around with the layers of vegetation, and I'm just not happy how the materials of this house look like. I think I'm gonna take the blue off here, so I'm gonna make it straight up black. Let me just make it kind of maybe a bit more grayish, I guess, something like this. And let's make the windows completely black as well. I think it looks slicker like this. I like it better. Okay, I think this looks a lot better. Now, I know there's something wrong with the materials because they look a bit too flat. So I guess this is fine. What about this? That is fine as well. This part, let's add some reflection to this as well. What about the beams? These are fine as well. Let's see, add the foundational structures. These need some reflection. Yeah, this looks much better this area now. Let's do 50. By the way, once again, any type of questions you might have for this process, let me know in the chat below. What else do we need in terms of the materials here? I think the furniture outside can be better. So let me take this off. Let me take this vase off. I guess these we just need to make the metallic. So metallic 100%, roughness at 30%. How can we make this even better? Let me try out and lower the field of view a bit more. I think this looks a bit better. Depth of field looks fine. I guess what do you guys think is missing here? Let me rotate the Azure eye a bit. Maybe that will help. Because I just don't think there's enough definition in the shape of the container itself. So maybe if I have the sun angle hitting it around here, that can work, I guess. Yeah, it looks a bit better like this. What if I add just a tiny bit of outlines? I don't think we can tell a big difference, so let me just turn these off. All right, maybe I add some more larger bushes here at the front. I definitely have to play around with the layers of the trees in the background here. Maybe take a few off. Let's move this. No, I guess that's fine. Let's move this one. Wait, which tree is this one? Because I honestly cannot tell here. Okay, it's not that one as well. Is it this? Okay, good. I think we need more like this one. Okay. I think we do have a little bit of issues here. I'm gonna try out using daytime Azure eye as well. So when I try to use, I think the grass is too vibrant. Yeah, I think I need to lower the saturation of the grass. Yeah, maybe something like this works better. It does have more of the mood that we're looking for. And then maybe we can turn the whole saturation of everything up. I guess it's fine. What about this? That was completely fine. I think we can play around with another Azure eye as well. That might help a bit. And yeah, something else that I do not like is this wood material here at interior. I'm going to go ahead and add the Enscape material library. I'm going to go here, add the wood. I'm going to scroll down. Let's check. Let's try this wood 46. I've never tried that one before, so we're testing it here live. Let me select the surface. Maybe a bit more like this. Okay. Let me think about trying another Azure eye. So maybe what we can do is I can just duplicate the same preset. So I'm going to use number 2. Let's go to sky. And then over here at the Azure eyes, I'm going to try the midday Azure eye. Yeah, I mean, this one is like always as a safer option, right? Because if we have something like this, we just know it's going to look better. Even if the sun comes from behind, even something like this looks much better. Do you guys think that this new Azure eye looks much cleaner? It almost looks like kind of a morning type of image. I have problems to upload the skybox. What do you think I'm doing wrong? One common thing is if you're downloading the Azure eye from Polyhaven, for example, make sure it's not at EXR file format. You may have to make sure if it's Azure. Try this out and let me know if it works for you. What do you guys think of this other Azure eye? Does this look better, or does this one look better? So if you think this one looks better, just comment number 2 on the chat. And if you think this one looks better, comment number 1, right? So this is number 2. I think this one does look better. This one does look a lot better, especially the way the lighting is coming in. I'm going to try something like this. I think the gray at the outside needs to be a bit darker as well. So let me check. Number two, yeah. I think everyone is voting for number 2, and I think you guys are right. I was thinking the same thing, honestly. So yeah, number two, number two, number two. All right. Let's try something like this. Saturation looks fine. Motion blur, we don't need that. Lens flare, we don't need that. Bloom, we don't need that. I mean, maybe a little bit if we add some fog. Oh yeah, by the way, adding some fog in a setting like this can help. Let's see which height works best. I'm just gonna turn on the intensity really high just to test out the height better. So now I'm gonna put it off a little bit. That's too much. Okay. Now what I think we have to do is I have to be a bit more careful with the landscape and trees in the background and all of the surroundings. So let me delete this. These ones to the back, we cannot even see them. So let me take this off. I'm just gonna take a bunch of these off. These are the back, we don't need them. Let's try doing a tree composition almost all from scratch. So I like this tree over here. Maybe we can add another one closer. Let's see. I think making sure like the trees, add fog looks good, add on the right side maybe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out later on. I'm not sure why it's not adding up over here. I think being able to kind of layer the trees the right way, that way there's not much confusion when setting them up, is very, very important. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna make this one larger. One of the best ways to do that is just playing with different heights of them, placing them at different rotation points, and a lot of other stuff like that. So these ones are a different type. I'm gonna place this over here. Maybe let's make this one smaller. That way there's some hierarchy in terms of the tree placement. Let's put this a little bit lower. All right. What else do we need here? I think if you can find some trees like these that are a bit lower, so you can put them at the back here and on this side, that'd be good. And something else that we would definitely be helpful is if we add some bushes here at the front of the camera. So I'm gonna try and place a tree right next to the camera here. Let me find the best position. Even closer. Let's go closer. And now a bit to the right. Yeah, this gives it a bit more depth and makes the depth of field a little bit better. Let's move this a bit more to the right. Okay, let's go to the asset library. I'm gonna place it from Sketchup this time. We're not gonna use multi-asset placement. Let's go to vegetation, trees. Let's check these out. So if I use something like this, maybe in the back, let's see how this looks. Let's move it a bit more over here. Let's move this downwards. Okay, I guess that's fine. And if I can find like a really large one over on this side, I think that will look very good as well. So let's go to the asset library. I think even though we want a cloudy mood, this is not super bright or anything. So I think this works well in terms of the kind of gloomy mood that we were looking for in the beginning. Let's add this tree. 1 second. Let's move this tree over here, and we're probably going to make it a lot larger as well. Which one is this one? Oh, wait, that's too big. This is way too large now. Let's do it like this. Wait, one thing that I was wondering as well is also maybe if I can tweak angle of the Asia eye just a bit more. This is too reflective, so yeah, I think this works just fine. Let me add some bushes in front of the camera as well. So let's go to the asset library once again. Let's take the trees off. Let's go to bush. And I'm gonna try to find something a bit more raw, something that might be easier to find in forest. So let's choose this. Let's make it larger. Maybe put it a bit over here. And let me try and choose, yeah, I want to choose some of, one second. Let's choose the ferns. That's a small one. Let's try this one. And let me try, what about this one? I'm just testing things out right now. So I think this would look good. I'm gonna take this off and maybe move it a bit more to the left. Let's make the fern a lot larger. Okay, and maybe we do need one more bush. I'm not sure what exactly it is that we need, but it might be something. Let's try this out. No, I don't like this. Let's go and try. I'm testing things out here, so I'm not super sure what I'm looking for. These look a bit more kind of raw. I learned Enscape. What HRI is this? This is the midday HRI. Rotating the trees at the back might help. I'm gonna try that out as well. Can I ask for your PC specs? Mine bleeds for this many assets. My PC spec right now is an RTX 2060, and I have a lot of RAM, so I have like 128 gigabytes of RAM, but it's not needed, honestly. It's probably not using too much RAM. Plus, I'm live streaming. I learned Enscape solely from your tutorials. Thanks a lot. I'm glad I could help. That's always great listening to stories like this. Let me try this one out as well. Let's make it a lot larger. I'm gonna delete it. Let me move this around. Okay. I think this gives it a bit more kind of framing. The trees at the back, yeah, it's true that we're gonna need to rotate them. So let me just move it around a bit. Let me try rotate this one as well. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. I think this is coming along fine. Is there, no, I thought there was some shadows coming over on this side, but not really. What else would help this render look better? I think if we can add something like this over here. Wait, if we can add something like this over on this side, this part where we can see the horizon, I think that would definitely be helpful. Okay. Let's try to add a bit more vignette. I think we need more framing here. So maybe not this much, but something like this can work. I definitely want to test out more angles from the Asia eye. This has too much reflections. This doesn't look that well. This is what we had earlier and it looked fine. Maybe adding some shadow sharpness just to see some definition of the shadows in terms of knowing that it's from the trees. That could help us. And yeah, I think I want to play around with the depth of field a bit. Maybe we lower it just a bit and maybe we place it a bit closer. Something like this. Is the ceiling okay? What do you mean by if it is okay? Yeah, I think the ceiling is fine. Are you talking about the material setting of the ceiling or is there something else? I think maybe adding some people here might add to the storyline or like the storytelling aspect of the render. So we're gonna test some things out. Let's go over here. Let's go to people and let's just type in walking. I think we need some people are wearing a bit more sporty clothes or kind of more casual. So what can we add here? I'm trying to find something that works out. What about this? Let me try and add this, maybe walking up the stairs. Let's rotate it. You know what will look actually very, very cool? If we could find maybe some, I don't know, maybe finding some dirt bikes or something like that, and maybe placing them over here, but I'm not sure. Isn't it too dark? I think it's fine. I'm not sure, maybe it's looking different on your screen, but I'm gonna play around with exposure later on as well, but I think it's fine. I don't want it to look like this, so yeah, somewhere around, yeah, I think it's completely fine. What I was thinking is maybe adding some dirt bikes. I think that will look very, very cool, but I'm not sure if we can find the right assets for that. So let's try, or what is it called? The dirt bikes. Oh, is it ATV or what was it called? Yeah, right. It's a quad bike. I think that will look cool, but maybe it's a bit too complicated to fit in with the whole surroundings and all that. So, all right, let me play around with the fog a little bit more. Now let's go to atmosphere. It's very, yeah, it's weird that it's coming up more on the left side than on the right side. I don't like the person over here. I don't like this guy over here. Like, I don't think it matches the composition that we're looking for. I'm gonna take it off completely. Let's go over here once again. Walking. I'm gonna type in walking once again. What can work here? Let me scroll a little bit slower. Why is everyone okay? I think something like this can work. Yeah, something like this can definitely work. Let me rotate it. It looks a little bit weird walking like this though. No, I think it looks fine. I think the render is looking much better. It has the fog definitely helps it out. The reflections over here help it out. The trees in the back look well. I think we could pay a little bit more attention to the interior, but other than that, let me give the dirt bikes another try. Like I really wanna try out how that looks. Try dirt bike on terrain. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find something like that. If you're doing it quick, by the way, I always try to finish live streams at around 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I know for sure that fixing it all up would take a lot longer. Quad bike. If you can find something ready, then I guess yes. But see, this model over here, this model looks fine. It's just that it doesn't have any materials. Wow, look at this one. Nice. What about collections? Nothing. Let's type in ATV. These can work. Let's try some of these out. I'm just gonna download them real quick. We don't need 3 of them, but maybe if I can just add 1. But I wish I could add something like, I wish I could add something just to add some dirt to the actual wheels. That would make it look a lot better, but it would just take a long time. We'd have to find assets from other software as well. Not sure what the best possible way would be to go on about that. I don't like this. I'm just gonna take it off completely. All right, I'm gonna go over the visual settings once again for the final time here. Auto contrast. I think it looks better like this. Let me turn off the shadows a tiny bit more. I think we need a bit more difference between shadows and the highlights. Saturation, I think 103 looks fine. All this other stuff we tried out. The intensity of the fog, shadow sharpness looks good. Ambient brightness, I guess that's fine. Artificial light, yeah, we'll just leave it like that. What else do we need here? Oh, let's try out playing around with the brightness of the HDRI. So we had it on default. No, I think it was just fine here. Let's go to default output. PNG, everything looks fine here. Let me just make the Enscape window larger. This helps with the framing a lot. This one, maybe we could have done a lot more attention with landscaping. Maybe I lower the depth of field a little bit because we need a bit more. We need a bit more definition around these outlines. Not much difference. Yeah, maybe just adding a tiny bit. Let's try out just 10% outlines. I'm gonna render this out. And then we're gonna open it and see how it looks. So let's do render 1. It would be completely different if we had, yeah, I think it looks nice. I think it looks good. It's definitely different from what we've done usually on the live streams. Plus, keep in mind that doing like a full proper render and making it look all perfect, it takes a lot of experimentation. And over here, we kind of just did everything. I usually, you guys probably think that I do, you guys probably wouldn't guess, I guess. Like, I found this model 30 minutes before deciding to live stream. And yeah, I think doing live streams is a perfect way to get content out there without spending too much time on production. I think this came out looking very good, especially what do you guys think? I really want to get to know your thoughts in the comment section, on live chat, I guess. I think you guys should, I think if we did some like color correction on this, it will look even better, but it doesn't look bad at all as it is right now as well. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the chat. I really wanna hear your thoughts about this. What do you think about this render? I'm quite happy with the outcome, to be honest. Lovely. Cospin likes it. Yeah, I think it has nice mood. I think what helps it a lot is the fog over here, the reflection. We did some framing with the bushes. The landscape doesn't look that bad. We have the trees in the background. We went through some different changes in that, but the depth of field really helps a lot. Yes, it helps a lot because it takes away the attention from the elements that are here at the front. Maybe we could have increased the depth of field just a bit more, and maybe that would help to kind of have the attention even more on the container here. But other than that, I think it looks completely fine. Love the background and fog. Yeah, I think the mood of the render looks very good. I think also the guy with the jacket, I think it's good that we changed that around. It looks more kind of mountainous, more forest-like, and yeah, I think this is pretty much it. Any type of input that you guys might have, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, I'm gonna stay around for just a few more minutes. The leaves look too dark, but overall it's amazing. Do color correction in Photoshop. We need to discover this process. Honestly, I rarely do post-production on the renders that I post on YouTube. They're mostly raw from Enscape. If you wanted to, if you think that the leaves look too dark, you probably can do it very easily. You probably can change that very easily with selective color on Photoshop, but I don't feel the need to do that right now. So yeah, thank you. Just joined the course, love it. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the final render once again. If you have any other questions, Let me know in the chat if you enjoy it so far. We go a lot more deeply into this process in the 14-day realistic rendering. You can find it in the ceiling looks blank. I guess it's just the shadows, right? Because the light is coming from this side. And yeah, I mean, there's some beams. There's stuff going around in there. It's just the lighting is coming from that side. But yeah, I get your point. I get your point. Are we going to have access to this video? I'm not sure if I'm going to delete the live stream after this. But I'm going to check that out later on. Thank you so much for your tutorials. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. And I'm always glad you guys enjoy these. But if you enjoyed this live stream, I'm going to leave the link to the 14-day realistic rendering course, just in case you guys want to take your realistic rendering capabilities to a whole new level. You're going to check this out. It is on sale right now for New Year's. It's going to go in price up soon. So if you want to get it at a discount, make sure to check it out in the chat. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week. I want to make